So tonight, you guys, like I said, this is going to be pretty awesome. You're going to actually hear from 9 other people inside our community that have made 6 figures. You're going to hear their story. And one thing else you're going to hear, not only their story, I'm going to have each of them give you their biggest tip from being inside the program, what they did, the biggest aha moment, the program or the community that really helped them hit 6 figures. So I would grab a pen and paper and take some notes. Now, unfortunately, we live in a world where I have to share this. So I need each and every one of you to screenshot this earnings disclaimer, because this information that you're going to hear is literally their individual story, and results vary, you guys. I have no magic wand. I can't tell you you can have results like this or you can expect results like this, but you're going to hear some pretty amazing income stories. And what I love about what you hear is they are everyday people just like you and I. And so I need you guys to screenshot this and just realize this. We're not giving you any income streams. We're not saying you're going to make 6 figures in under 6 months. We're just going to show you the process that we did that got us to 6 figures in 6 months. Okay. So with that being said, what I want to do is I just kind of want to go over a few things with you before I have each and every one of them share, because most of you are here because you're ready to learn how to make passive daily pay online, but you just don't know where to start. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is this 5-step blueprint that our community uses to learn how to make passive income online. Step 1, we promote products and programs that are in high demand. The product and the program that we have used and we are promoting has done $4.8 million in 45 days. That is why you've seen so many people create 6 figures in such a short time. If you do the math on that, that is $107,000 a day the community members are making. And when you see that 4.8 million, that is going into the community's pockets. This is not an MLM. This is not an affiliate program. This is a program where you learn how to make 100% profit, a program where you're paid directly into your bank account when a customer buys from you. So when you see in 45 days, $4.8 million, that's why. Okay, so pretty awesome. So step 2, you got to automate your business. You guys, when I learned how to automate my business, this is what gave me my life back. This is what gave me my time back. It's pages like this. And on average, inside my community, when 20 people subscribe right here, 1 out of 20 people are buying. So if you do the math on that and you can get yours converting like that, that's $900 a day. That's $328,000 a year. So step 1, we promote a program that's in very high demand. Step 2, we automate our business. And step 3, we learn how to get our business discovered. Now, you guys also call that marketing. I just don't like to use the word marketing because when you think of marketing, you think you got to spend money. We use a discovery system so we can organically attract people to us. So we teach you how to build that faceless brand, or even just to build a brand that you want to be known for. We show you a copy and paste free ads method, and we show you how to use social media. There's 5 billion people just on social media alone, my friends. So we show you how to become a magnet and attract customers to you. This was a breath of fresh air to me, you guys, because I no longer had to go DM people. I no longer had to go find customers. It was a fully automated, rejection-free system. We also show you how to build your invisible empire if you want to build that faceless brand. And we show you how to do a copy and paste free ads method as well. So step 4, you got to relate in your content. This is what we spend so much time inside our community with. How can you create that stop the scroll content, attract people back to your automated system so they buy from you? And that's step 4, because guess what? Step 5 is a new customer. And you know what, you guys, I honestly wish sometimes that I could make this process harder than it is. But that's the steps that we follow. And what I love is the product is ready to go. The system is already fully automated. So all you focus on every day is creating your content and getting that discovered by getting more relatable with your content. So I quickly want to share my story with you before I pass it over to Tim. And he's going to be the first one to share with you his journey of hitting 6 figures. But you guys, I discovered this process in September of 2022. Prior to that, I was very disappointed in myself. I felt like I was on a hamster wheel. I was trying to make an income. I was trying to do anything I could to make money from home. And I was literally failing miserably at that until I discovered this process. You guys, I'm a mom. I have 6 kids. I only have 2 left at home. And now I'm a grandma to 5. And spending time with them, you guys, is just the most important thing to me. And so I was working a lot of hours to try to make an income from home. And I was ready to give it up. I mentally was exhausted. I would look in the mirror and I'm like, how the hell did you get here? I thought I'd be further along. I thought I'd have more time with my family. And this process, here's what it was for me. And it was a post, by the way, that I discovered on Facebook. I didn't need to see no video. It was what she had said in that. It said no MLM, it said no monthly expenses. It said learn the 2-hour workday. It said learn how to make 300 in daily pay. And I'm like, 300 a day, that's 109,000 a year. That would be a dream come true if I could follow that and do that in working 2 hours a day. And then it said 100% profit. And right there's where I put the brakes on. I'm like, whoa, how do you make 100% profit? So I sent her a message and I said, I saw your post on Facebook. I'm curious, how do you make 100% profit? And she said, because the company creates a website for us and they charge for the website fee. So we don't, I go, so there's no tech involved? Because you guys, that was one of the things I was always struggling at, of looking at digital marketing, because I thought you had to create a website. I thought you had to build all of this. Then I thought you had to know code and pixels and all this stuff. I didn't realize you could have a done for you process where you could make 100% profit. And so that's when I took the leap of faith and I started my journey, and I was blown away. I was blown away by the system, how it was paint by numbers. I was blown away that I could literally master this 2-hour workday. I did launch my business on TikTok because I loved that it was short form videos. I love the fact that I could do everything from an app. Matter of fact, you guys, I have built my business from 4 apps. It's the TikTok app, my email app, and my program app. Kajabi is a program, and our community app is a school app. Four. And I'm able to I achieved 6 figures in 6 months. That turned into my first million online in 17 months. And this was a gal in August of 2022. I was disappointed in myself and I thought I never could have success. And I'm telling you right now, if you are willing to be coachable and willing to be, and here's my biggest tip, consistent. I just was ignorance on fire when I did this. I was willing to be coachable and I was willing to be consistent. And I have shown up every single day for the last 20 months. And that is why I've had success, because I'm promoting a program that's in high demand. I've automated my business. I've stayed consistent, and I've just been super coachable. So I'm telling you what, sky's the limit, my friends. If you are willing to follow a proven process, you will absolutely love that. So with that being said, Tim, I'm going to let you take it away. 5 minutes, Tim.
Awesome. Timer's set up, ready to go. Here we go. Just get ready. Hey guys, my name is Tim, and I am a dad of 5 kids, and I live out here in California. And I was in the corporate world. My story is probably very different than a lot of people. I literally come from the corporate world. I spent 25 years there, and I was never really home. The best way to describe it, when I say I was never home, I always had a cell phone. I was on a laptop. They came into my office after 25 years, and they sat me down and said my role had been eliminated. I don't know about you, but you ever lost a career that you really just, you did enjoy it, but there was a lot of things that you didn't like about it, but you showed up anyway and did it because as we're raised, right? We're kids. I had 5 brothers and sisters. Sit down, shut up, and listen as we were raised, right? You do exactly what you're told, not as I do, right? And then we get good grades, go to school, do all that, settle down, marry, have a family, get a home, and have a career, and then retire. Who put in the comments one if you've ever heard that story before, because that's how I lived, that's how I was raised, right? And I did all that, and I never thought my wildest dreams where I was in my career, never thought in my wildest dreams I would have lost my career, because I was an impactful player in that company, massively impactful for the decisions and the direction where that company went. And it's a company that y'all well know, just so you're clear. But here I am. I said, I got laid off, and then I said I went home for 5-6 months and kind of decompressed. The elephant came off my shoulders. I got to date my wife again. I actually got to know my kids again. It's really funny if you ever lose it and you kind of like decompress from that role. You're like, holy crap, you never realized the weight. That was the one thing I never realized, the weight, the stress, the pressure, how I showed up. I showed up ready. I always say the corporate armor that we put on before we go to work so we don't have to show a smile. We laugh at people that we wouldn't laugh at normally. We would just say, yes, this is what I need to do. But here's what I realized. After being home, I said I never wanted to go back. I actually flew 4 different in other states from California for interviews to other companies. And the one thing, I get on that plane and get ready to come home, and I go, and these were good companies. I would come home and I go, I just can't do this again. I just can't. I got home. I started to see some things around the home. And I will say something for you. A lot of you guys that are dads out there, you need to be home with your kids. They need you as they need as much as your moms. Their relationships and the things that I talk about nowadays, the gaming, the movies we watch. I'm telling you, this business is way more than just all the money you're going to hear. It is way more than the noise you just heard in my background. But we're at home. We stay at home dads here. Come on, this is the best. I hear a lot more than that normally, and I got to be under my 5 minutes. But here's what I'm going to say to you: we're home. This is what it's about. Stay at home dads. Your kids need you. If there's anything I could ever tell you, you may not know it because that's not how you were raised. They need you more than you can ever possibly imagine. And I will just say this to you: I came across a video just from Michelle here that actually just said you can learn the skills how to make $300 a day. Well, I was at a point where I had started looking for an online business, and I'm like, there was 3 things that I was looking for in an online business. Number one, can I talk to somebody if I ever get stuck? Like, you know how it is. Like, okay, can I talk to somebody? I'm 55 years old at the time. I just needed to know what I could do. It's 56 actually. Can I get help if I need it? They said they had training. So I'm like, okay, they said all these things. Now it's like, okay, I'll do it. So I made a decision, believe it or not, in one night. We were in the hospital. My son had surgery, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, okay, showed my wife, I said, what are you thinking? I said, you know what? I'm going to. But literally, I made a decision on this business in one night, just so you know. Now, as I got into here, I'm going to give you 5 tips that I think are the most important things. And my story, even before the tips I give you, I want you to share something with you. I didn't make any income for the first 3.5 months. Don't get don't get nervous. Oh my God, what am I doing this for? I want to share something with you. I'm about on the verge of hitting $200,000 in less than 13 months. And I made no income for 3.5 months. The key behind that story, though, is these 5 tips. See, one day, and I own that, though. I own that because, see, that moment, the reason I didn't make any income, I never talked to my mentor. I never said a word to her. I, believe it or not, I'm an introvert, a very loud one, but I'm an introvert. And here's the thing about that is I never asked her a question. That's why I tell you, I own that, right? So we own the decisions we make, we own where we're at. And I understood that. So the day I asked, it was July 27th. It's the day that'll always go down in history for me, is we were on a Zoom call. And here's the thing, I did every training, everything. I showed up every day, every training. And then all of a sudden we had questions back and forth. 4 questions later, 3 days later, I started making daily pay 11 days straight. And then in 14 days, I made my first $4,050. Why do I tell you that? Is because there are 5 things I believe you need to be to have a successful online business. Number one, you have to be coachable. When I tell you sit down, shut up and listen, or you won't get hurt, that was what our parents said to us when we're running around like crazy and your kids are driving your parents nuts. Well, we were part of that. Sit down, shut up, listen. Trust me when I tell you, I say that out of love and kindness. Number 2, this is really important because you have to be consistent every day. You're going to hear something about the common denominator about all these people that are actually doing the 6 figures. They're very consistent. There's not a problem that gets in the way where they don't show up for the people, because you're not doing this business for yourself. You're doing it for other people just like you, trying to get out of whatever or add on to whatever better life you want to have. Be clear on that. So number 3, which I think is the most important tip I could ever give anybody, the greatest tip I can possibly give you, is to be authentic. I am me. There's only one unique person about me. You know, I tell people my golfing stories. I tell people my struggles. I'm okay with that because I am human. I am like anybody else. I just did and made better, different choices. Not necessarily better, different choices. I chose to show up. I chose to be coachable because I am not giving anybody back my time. To think of one thing, I gave 25 years of my life to someone else, and now they can come into your office and go, we don't need you anymore. Thank you for your time. And Thank you. Have a good day. But number 4, so I said coachable. Number 1, being consistent with the right message. 3, be yourself. It is so cool. There's something refreshing about not having to put a costume on, put armor on, any of that, and just be yourself, talking about, hey, because I realize not everybody's going to see what I see. They're not going to purchase. Not every person that comes on there is going to do it, but there's a lot of people that do. And I will say, I said number 4 is have patience and grace, because I knew for 3.5 months I had patience and I had grace on myself. And number 5, we're going to talk about heavily is your mindset. I am not the person that started on March 8th of 2023. I am not the same person that I am today. So if there's anything, I will leave it on this final note. You're at a place where there's a bunch of people. I did a mentoring call for my community. I was on there for 4.5 hours answering questions, because the leadership and the example that Michelle's given us, we're here for you to be successful. It's just a choice. Whether you do it or you don't, it's your choice. It's going to be okay. But there are people out here on this call today that are sick and tired of being sick and tired of where they're at. I just want you to know there's people like myself, Michelle, and you're going to meet a bunch of other people that are willing to do a training and give of their time so you're successful. We know this works. See, we don't have a doubt. We have no problem. We're here for you. We will guide you along your way, and just get in here as fast as you can, because I'm telling you, it is absolutely life-changing. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the change. Thanks.
What was number 5?
Mindset.
There you go. Somebody asked what number 5 was. So
Oh, no worries. Mindset, all about the head.
yeah, there you guys go. Awesome. Thank you, Tim. And I'm so proud of your success. And you said what, you're just a little bit shy of 200,000 in 13 months?
Yeah, I'll hit it this month.
Yay.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Congratulations.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys. So next we are going to have Marianne come on and share her journey to 6 figures. And she's going to share with you guys her biggest tip. So Marianne, I'll let you take it away.
Welcome, everybody. Anybody who is on this call is definitely in the right place. You are in the right place. If you don't know who I am, my name is Marianne. I'm 60 years young, and I refuse to work until the day I die. I'm not doing it. I celebrate every single Friday. I will never, ever punch another time clock. Not in this lifetime. I will never have someone tell me when to go to the bathroom, when to go to lunch, or when to go home. It's not happening. When I say that you are in the right place at the right time, you are definitely in the right place. Our training is top notch. I honestly believe that you couldn't even get this kind of training and mentorship inside our community. Yes, Tim did do a training. What was that, Monday night, Tim? And we were on there for 4.5 hours. You can ask anybody anything, and they are going to jump in and help you. Mindset is key. You've got to get out of your stinking thinking. You have to. Nothing's going to change if you don't change it. I knew absolutely nothing about this business in May when I signed up. I didn't even get my system set up until August. I own that. It's totally my fault. We were selling our house and we became full-time RVers. And if you're really looking to live life on your terms, you need to be here. We are in Wisconsin right now, but for the last 6 months, we have been in Texas, we've been in Arizona, and we've been in Florida. This has absolutely given me my life back. I paid off thousands and thousands and $1,000 of credit cards. This is amazing. It is totally amazing. It has changed my life. And we are all here to help you guys change yours. Just get out of your stinking thinking. Is it easy? No, but you've got to keep plugging in. You've got to be on the mentoring calls. You have to do the daily video, and your business will just continue to grow and grow and grow. And that's exactly what I've done. And I just hit over 100K last Monday. If I can do it, you all can do it.
So let me ask you a question. What do you feel is the hardest part of this business?
Michelle, I honestly don't believe there is a hard part, but they have to stay consistent. They have to stay consistent. They have to be on those mentoring calls. You know, if you go to a job every day and you screw off, how long are you going to have that job? You're not going to have it very long. You've got to be consistent and do what Michelle tells me. If she says jump, I ask her how high. No, not really, not really. But it's been amazing, and it's been life-changing for me.
Share real quick before I pass on to the next person. When I love what you said about how because I give you a daily video every day in the community, how that really helped you.
It keeps me on point. I learn something new every single day. If there's something new, Michelle's going to bring it to us. We learn something new every single day. And that's what's kept me on track from day to day to day. That's very important. Very important.
Awesome. Love it so much. And congratulations. I'm so proud of you. And it's so awesome to watch
Thank you.
your journey. So good. All right, guys. Now we are going to pass it over to Wendy, and she's going to share her story with you because she is speed lightning in this business.
Okay, welcome. I'm so excited to be here. I am coming at you from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, but normally I'm in Ontario. So I'm out here, out west at my brother-in-law's place and sitting on his beautiful porch. Guys, I gotta just say, I'm a grandma from Ontario. I became a grandma 7 years ago. And when I became a grandma, something in my heart, in my head, in my mind, I just was like, I want to spend every moment and make memories with these little girls, because we realize how fast time is evaporated from us. I was raised with the mindset, make necessary sacrifices to provide for your family, and I did. I worked long weekends, I worked holidays, I missed special moments with my girls growing up, and it still brings me to tears when I think about it because I can't get that time back. But dang it, I could do something different now. And so I was on a hunt. I was looking, I was praying. God, please help me to find something online. I tried, I found this really expensive program. I gave it my all. But guys, I thought I was under the impression I had to spend a lot to make a lot. Okay? You don't have to spend a lot to make a lot. But I did, and it didn't work. After 3 long years of giving myself to that, I was like, I had to cut my losses and say, this is not working. I tried affiliate marketing, made like 25% commission. And when I saw Michelle and she was telling me I can make 100% commission, I was like, yeah, say what? Like, what is she talking about? I'm like, okay, Michelle, bring it. Tell me more, right? I watched it. It didn't take me very long because I had already been in the online space and I had something to compare it to. I was comparing what she was saying to all these things that I had tried and didn't work. And I was like, okay, this is what I've been looking for. I didn't care if God took 4 years to answer my prayer. He's like, Wendy, I taught you a lot. You're going to use what I taught you for this. And I believe I did because I was like friggin' excited. I had my mindset right. I totally believed in this 1000%. And then I just hit the ground running. Yesterday, what are we, Wednesday today? Wednesday, yeah, right. I don't even know what day it is. I'm on holidays. Tuesday this past week was 11 weeks that I've been doing this business. I gotta tell you, friends, I'm a Canadian, so I'm making Canadian bucks here, and I'm gonna share it with you in Canadian dollars. I can't even wrap my brain around it, but I'm at is what is it? 220,000. See, I can't even wrap my brain around. I don't even know that number. Like I can't, it's more than my husband and I make in 2 years. I have made our income, both of us, 2 years in under 3 months. Right? I mean, somebody like pinch me. I'm dreaming. I must be in heaven. I don't know. It's blowing my mind and I cannot help but share it. Now, one piece of advice I have, and I say to everybody, the road to success has potholes. Expect the road to not be easy, because I see people think it's like, oh, this will be easy. You will come across obstacles. I don't care if it's your family telling you that, oh, everything online is a scam. You can get, there'll be all of a sudden, your mindset's shooting off because your family or friends are telling you, what the heck are you doing? That you've fallen for some kind of thing. Or it could be like, you might experience a techie problem. Your computer might fall. Like you will have roadblocks, you will have potholes, but you just push through and you get through them. I don't care what it is. Everything is fixable. Everything is fixable. Some take a little longer than others, but everything is a fixable thing and you can do it. You can get over that pothole and don't let it stop you. That's what I'm like. I came across many obstacles, many potholes that I was like, oh my goodness, this boom. What the heck? My, different things. And I'm like, no, Wendy, everything's fixable. Everything's fixable. I'm like, okay, let's fix it. How can I do it? Right? And when you think that way, we're talking about mindset. A lot of people mentioned it. Your mind will all of a sudden say, it'll agree with you. It'll say, okay, let's figure out how to fix this. Your mind will go to work on your behalf to try to figure out how to fix something. And that is what you do. You just push through. If you're having struggles in this area, you say, okay, how can I get better? What am I doing that's not the same as somebody else? Because the system, I tell people, the system is the same. It doesn't care if you're a young mom. It doesn't care if you're an old grandma like me. The system is the same. We all use the same system. It's the operator that needs to tweak, change, fix, whatever. You look at yourself and you say, what can I do to better myself today to achieve the results that I want? And I'm not going to let anything stop me. Nothing. I say to people, this is the best thing since sliced bread. So you're in the right place. I can honestly tell you this from the bottom of my heart, because I've tried numerous things and lost a lot of money, but I didn't ever lose hope. So there you go. That's me from Calgary, Alberta here.
Oh, I love it so much. Thank you so much for sharing. I love your story, and yeah, rapid success. And you're just living proof that you can not have success at other things, and you just got this and you plugged into it and you become coachable, and look what's happened to you. And congratulations. And how cool. More money than what did you say, in a year? In 2 years. That is absolutely amazing. So, thank you so much for sharing. Now, you guys, we're going to go to a single mom story. How's that? For all you single moms out there that are working your face off to support your family, I'm going to have Amy come and share her journey to 6 figures working 2 jobs. So, Amy, I'll let you take it away. Did we lose her?
There we go.
Oh, there
Welcome,
you are.
everyone. I was muted. I apologize. Look, I'm not tech savvy. Let's just get it out of the way right there. But really, from my heart, I welcome you tonight, because this is the first step that you've taken. It may be a little bit uncomfortable to even think about doing something like this. And what I want to say to you is, I ran across Michelle a year ago. I just celebrated 1 year. And I'm a little bit different. I'm kind of, I had all the cards stacked against me. My daughter actually put me on TikTok, and that's how I found out about this. I knew nothing. I'd never done MLM, online business. I wasn't even online. So all I knew how to do was work my butt off. I was working 2 jobs, 18 hours a day for many, many years. And the reality hit that I had started losing my relationship with my children because those jobs always came before them. I was sick and tired of struggling, and I just wanted something better. And it breaks my heart even today because I lost so many memories with them because I was always at work. Unfortunately, I got divorced, and that's such a horrible statistic, but it's reality. I got left to raise 3 kids on my own. One job wasn't enough, so I had to get another one. So I come to you as a single mom, as working 2 jobs and not knowing absolutely anything about any of this. I was scared. I didn't think I could do it, but I wanted something better. And I knew that if I didn't do something to change it, I was going to lose my relationship with them. 1 year ago, I decided to come into this community and give it all that I could give, even though I was working 18 hours a day, even though I didn't know anything. And the one thing that I promised myself was that I was going to do it not only for me, but I was going to do it for my kids because I was tired of struggling. And it's hard being broke. It's hard. But the number one thing that I can give you is consistency. You need to show up for yourself. That is the one thing that has kept me going. 2 to 3 hours every day, in between 2 jobs, 45 minutes in the morning, every lunch break, every in between both jobs, every extra 15, 20 minutes I had, I was in that community. I was on those Zooms. I was listening. I was learning because I didn't know any better. I didn't know anything. I was in the trucking industry for over 20 years and waitress part-time. I didn't know anything, but I was willing to learn and I was consistent. Long story short, this single mom started learning and earning very quickly. And by 10 weeks, I was not only able to quit one of those jobs, but both of them in 10 weeks. It blew my mind. I became a stay-at-home mom for the first time. I could just jump in the car and go wherever I wanted because the system that was actually given to me it was on automations. And it's out there working for me. So it's still generating me an income, paying the bills. By 9 months in, you guys, I hit 100 grand. I just celebrated 1 year with this community and I am well over 200 grand earned. It's much easier having money in the bank. I'm going to tell you that right now. Much easier. But in this last year, I've not only paid off every bit of debt that I've had, I was able to pay off a car loan. I had just gotten a car 2 years ago, paid it off. I have no debt. I have money in 4 different accounts. I've booked 3 trips with my kids that I never could have done, ever, ever. And now I get to put me and those kids first. I'm rebuilding those relationships. So from me to you, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're tired of the hustle and you just want your family back, this is my first summer ever in my life that I get to enjoy it. That's all because of this program. If you show up and you're consistent every single day for 2 to 3 hours and you're willing to put in the work for it, you can be just as successful. And I say success is in so many different ways, not just the money. Not just the money. It can give you a whole new life. So thank you for your time. And I hope tonight's the first day of a new life for you.
So awesome. I love your story. And yeah, that felt good to say. You got your first summer ever that you can do whatever you want.
I used to sit at work and cry because my kids were at home and I could never take them on a trip. I would literally cry at work because it broke my heart. I felt defeated as a mom that I couldn't give that to them, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm proud of you for taking action and learning something you had no idea about.
Oh, I know. And we're just getting started. We're
That's
just
right.
getting started.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so
Thank you,
much for
guys.
sharing. Ooh, so good. All right, guys, we're going to pass it over to Daryl. He's going to come on here and share his story with you. Daryl, you should be unmuted.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Hey, awesome, awesome. Man, I love all those testimonials, love all those testimonials. So guys, I'm just going to be real, genuine, authentic, and just raw because I want you guys to understand something. You don't have to come from money first and foremost. I'm just a country boy from the state of Missouri who grew up in a shotgun house with a single mom and 14 kids that slept on a wood floor with no cover and a box fan. That's the God honest truth. So you don't have to come from money. You don't have to. I mean, I grew up getting in a house getting $700 for food stamps and a $300 welfare check, raising 14 siblings. My mom did. So I just wanted to get that out the way because a lot of times people think they got to come from money. You got to have money passed down. It has nothing to do with that. So a little bit about myself, guys. Again, if you know my story, I worked as a welder for 14 years at a job. I was a 3-time employee of the month. Showed up every week, volunteered. I'm to my a true company man, no days off, miserable, almost lost my wife, almost lost relationship with my kids because I put the job before I put them. I mean, just miserable, still living paycheck to paycheck, behind on all my bills. Make a long story short, guys, I come in after giving that job almost 15 years of my life, blood, sweat, and tears. They came in on a Tuesday morning, make a long story short, and they fired me. They walked me out. I sat in the car crying, bawling. And I didn't even tell my wife for almost 2 days. I didn't tell you guys that. Not only was I homeless, and I didn't share this with you guys, but I actually stayed in a homeless shelter for 1 month, because of that. I mean, it was a lot, guys. It was a lot. I was at a really deep part of my life. And I told myself, I didn't want to work for anybody else. The fact that somebody could come in there and just snap their fingers after giving them, almost 15 years, it was just too much for me. So I told myself, I had made up my mind, I didn't want to work for anybody. Make a long story short, guys, I came into the online space not knowing anything. I dabbled into a couple things, and I discovered this program right here through someone on January the 13th, and I joined on January the 15th. Now, before I get into my income, I want to share with you guys, and I had a whole bunch of things, but I just want to hit on a couple of them. That they're on as far as like my success, and this is for me. So first and foremost, guys, my biggest thing is my why. You have to know why you're doing what you're doing. Why did you join? What was the reason why you joined this business? Because once you figure out the reason why you joined, that's what's going to keep you from quitting. If you don't have a real reason why you joined, if Lord forbid, if just because your website didn't get set up right, or you can't get your emails file sequences together, oh, it's the end of the day. Like, it's crazy how we can stress this job and want to quit after 3 days, but we can work at a job for 20 years, taking orders and being bossed around and taking 30-minute lunches and 10 or 15-minute breaks, right? So you have to know why. My why is, guys, is simple. I don't want to give a job, somebody, an entity, or a business, the fact that, and on any given Sunday they can come in and be like, hey, we're downgrading, and you got to understand, if you're the person who's making the most money, you're gonna be the person who get the axe first because they're trying to cut back. So I didn't want to do that. I never wanted to put myself in a position where I was away from my family. I'm in a shelter. My wife's over here. My kids over here. I didn't want to have any. I want to control my own income because I know the type of work ethic that I have, and I want my income to be based off my work ethic and not because I'm working for a Fortune 500 company that's making billions of dollars and I'm only worth $22 an hour to that company. I didn't want to put myself in that. So you got to have a why. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Because your why is what's going to keep you going. I wrote these down. I had to write these down. My next one, guys, is just staying consistent. No days off. When people ask me, Daryl, you're doing really well. Guys, I don't take any days off. It doesn't matter if I got the flu, pneumonia, COVID, like I'm showing up. I'm consistent. I'm consistent with my 2-hour workday. It's in blocks. I don't do it all at one time, but it is like everything for me. If I'm doing 30 minutes here, my wife, my kids, the dogs, they know nobody touches my circle, right? And you have to show up and you have to, for me, I post my 3 videos. I go live for an hour, answer my emails. That is structure. You have to have structure, once you take your business serious. The next thing for me, guys, is watching other people who are doing better than you. Guys, let me tell you something. I went from January the 15th to January 31st, I made $5,000. That was more than I ever made working 75 hours a week for a whole month, 12 hours a day, welding. And how my income end up going from 5,000 to 8,000 in February, I watched Michelle, I watched Tim, I watched Marianne, I watched Amy, I watched Victoria, I watched Jimmy. I was watching those guys because they were making more money, they were doing more. And I just started mastering the 2-hour workday because that's how important it is. And then my income went from 5,000 to 8,000, right? Again, showing up, not taking any days off, just continuing to learn. And then my next one, guys, is just being yourself. I think a lot of times when we're getting on video or whatever, man, we're trying to be somebody we're not. We're trying to be Michelle. We're trying to be Amy. We're trying to be Tim, right? It's good to follow them. And I learned a lot from all of those. And I put it together and I use it as myself. But I can only be who I am because I know if you can just be yourself, you're going to attract. There's 8 billion people in the world. You're going to attract your own type of people, right? So me being myself and doing that, guys, again, my income went from 5,000 in January, 8,000 in February to $38,600 in March. I had to pinch myself. I cannot tell you what type of income that is, guys. I mean, that's true life-changing income for me. And again, and then my 5th one, guys, is just staying consistent. Like, it is the biggest thing. There's nobody is going to have success without consistent. You can't work Monday and make a couple of dollars and take off Tuesday and Wednesday and come back. You have to work every day. You have to show up. Like I show up, guys. I keep a receipt from Regions years ago when my account was overdrawn $422.63. That's my motivation. That's why I stay consistent. That's why I show up. It doesn't matter how much money I make. I'm going to show up every day. Like if I don't make money, my wife's going to leave me. I'm not going to have a relationship with my kids. They're not going to eat. That's the type of hunger you have to have. And you have to continue to learn from just everybody, but you just got to be yourself, right? And so it's crazy because I remember one of the first people that I saw in this community was what's her name? Victoria, because she had made 6 figures in 5 months. And I wasn't even on TikTok then. I watched the TikTok training, I implemented, right? And I told myself I want to make 6 figures by the end of the year. That was my goal right out the gate. Guys, I hit 6 figures in 112 days, guys. That is a little bit over 3.5 months. Today is May the 15th. I joined on January the 15th, and I'm at a little bit over $110,000 in 120 days, which is just, I can't even tell you what that has done. I've paid off $27,000 in debt. The only other debt I have is about $15,000 for student loans, which will probably be paid off in the next 2 months max, guys. And I'm able to travel. Me and my wife are able to do stuff. I'm getting ready to go Monday for 3 days to Georgia. My daughter is planning for colleges down there. These are things, guys, I never got to do. I'm talking about 6 to 8 years. I missed out on this type of stuff. I'm getting ready to go to Jamaica. It's already paid for 8 people. I would have never not only had the time, but never been able to make that type of income to be able to take my whole family on a trip that was been on my bucket list probably since I was 12 years old. And so, guys, I just want you to understand that first and foremost, if you're here, this is the best business in the world. The fact that you can just work 2 hours a day and be able to learn skills that is going to pay you as long as the internet is around, because it's not going anywhere. It's almost like I wake up every day just like this, because I know that all I have to do is show up for 2 hours out of 24 hours. And I'm able to learn skills that's going to make me daily pay. That's going to have me living the life that I would have never. The only way I could have saw this coming was watching it, dreaming it on TV. And so now I'm actually living this, guys, all because of first of all because of a decision I made by joining when someone introduced it to me, because I could have kept on scrolling, right? But I joined. I've learned skills. And those skills are teaching me how to make daily pay. I'm a part of a thriving community, people who support me, who actually inspire me, who motivate me, and people who I can continue to learn from myself. And, you know, I can name 1,000 other reasons, but those are just 5. Just again, what is your why? You have to stay consistent, guys. No days off. Watching other people who are doing better, you learning from them, staying consistent, and just be yourself. You will attract your own audience, guys. And so, you know, I'll leave you guys with this, and I'll get off, Michelle. Guys, I had a millionaire mentor tell me this in 2018. He said, Daryl, you have to stop being poor, man. He said, you have to stop being poor. And he wasn't talking about where I come from. He was talking about my mindset, guys. I was living paycheck to paycheck, but he said, you have to stop passing over opportunities repeatedly. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. He said, you know, and I realized that train of that thought, that little thing that he invested, you know, implemented in me, guys. That is the reason why I'm going to be one of those 7-figure earners that Michelle creates in this program. I know I will be, right? Because I would have never even thought of making 6 figures in under 4 months, let alone for the whole year. But this is the power of what we have up here. And so anyway, I can talk all day, but again, guys, it can be one day for you, or it can be day one, guys. And I highly recommend it for your, you know, if you're smart, I don't say if you're smart, but guys, I would make it day one if I were you, you know, because this is the best business in the world, and we've got the best supporting cast around here. So thank you, Michelle. Appreciate you guys, and let's get it, guys.
I love it. I love that
Yeah.
story. That's so good. One day or day one.
Yep.
So good.